Well, we know across Canada, homelessness has really increased. We've seen our numbers going up and up and up. And there's a lot of factors that are part of that. But this community, the community of Elgin St. Thomas, has been absolutely fantastic. We have a very strong community that works with things like the food bank, and our churches come together. And in places like In Out of the Cold, a whole community who are putting their time together and making sure those people who are most vulnerable have the resources and the assistance that they need. So I am so proud of this community, and I would like to see more communities do things like this where they come together and bring awareness, because homelessness is 365 days a year, so this one night is really important to make others aware as well, and we can always do better.
It was a cold and windy night. The car was moving quite a bit with the wind last night, but this is the third one. I'm getting a little used to what you have to do to get through the night. It isn't even so much the money. That's fantastic that we do it, and this community is really good at that type of volunteering and donating, but raising the awareness of what an organization like In Out of the Cold does, or the rest of the homelessness or housing situation in St. Thomas, is maybe more of what we accomplished in the last week, and certainly sleeping in the cars last night. I'm not certain I'd want to go do a full day's work today. I do have a few appointments, but I've said this each year after doing it, is I'm not certain if, this homelessness, sleeping in the car, how you honestly could be productive at work the next day. So let's work to make sure that's not an issue in our community or even in the world. Let's work on some housing for people.
Well, I'm happy to be warm right now. Body's a little sore, I'm a little tired, but we pulled through. You know what? It's always the same. It's an uncomfortable night. You got to prepare. You got to be warm. You need lots of blankets. But it was so great to see that we had so many people participating, and the funds that were raised. I can't wait to hear how well we did. In year one, I think we did $3,000, and there was 2 of us. Year 2 there was 10 of us, and I think we did just shy of $10,000. And this year, I'm hearing we've surpassed $15,000 already, which was our goal. We still have Strathroy next week, so I can't wait to find out how well we did.
I was very fortunate to be inside of a vehicle, and I know that's not the true experience of being outside on a park bench. But we do have some unfortunate people in St. Thomas and surrounding area that they do sleep in their vehicles, and families, and we have people that sleep in the bank foyers where the ATM machines are located to stay warm. So for me, as the night wore on, I got cold, and I was lucky enough to have some extra clothing. And again, those less than fortunate to have to sleep outside, they don't have that option of adding some extra clothing to try and stay warm. So, when the morning rolled around, and here we are talking now with my colleagues who stayed out last night, we sure have a new appreciation for those that have to sleep outside or sleep elsewhere because they don't have the comfort of a home. And we need to step up as a community and ensure that we join the fight to end homelessness. We see it after midnight when normally the community has gone to bed, and we have those people that don't have a place to lay their head down and go to bed. So raising, I hear the total is nearly $23,000, and we all know that money stays in our community. So that's going to go a long ways in supporting those facilities like In Out of the Cold and other places that provide shelter for homelessness. So very proud of what was accomplished last night.
I did have a good sleep, although a couple times waking up a little bit chilly and having to bundle up a little bit more, and you got a real perspective of what some folks deal with on a daily basis. Coming out and following along with community leaders, which was something that I was really interested in, being from an established media, wanting to raise awareness for homelessness, but also I was interested in the aspect of these community leaders stepping out and doing something like this. And yes, it could be harder, it could be sleeping right on a sidewalk or whatever, but the fact that we're doing this, and the fact that the mayor and member of parliament and our police chief and many other leaders from our community are taking this night to do this, to raise some money, raise awareness for homelessness in our city and surrounding communities. It was just great to see. I'm excited about the money that's been raised. It will go to help provide food, help provide clothing for many in our community that are in need.
The experience was good overall. It's sort of a challenge. It's an interesting experience. Sleeping in your car, it's definitely uncomfortable. It gets cold. Lesson I learned from last year is that you get a lot of condensation on the inside of your car. So you want to leave the windows open just a crack. And that helps keep the condensation from building up, but the trade-off is that it's cold. That's something that I did this year. It's definitely something that I would do again. I think despite the fact that it's uncomfortable, despite the fact that it's cold, it is a great way to bring awareness to what is a serious issue in our community as well as in others. And so anything that I can do to help. For me, it's just one night in a car. And as a unique experience, it's sort of interesting and it's a fun challenge to do. But for some people, this is reality. Tonight I get to go home and sleep in a warm bed. So if we can do anything to help raise money or awareness for people who are in this situation on an ongoing basis, it's definitely something that I'd be happy to do again and again.
You know what? It was damp and cold, and it was easy to understand why people have a hard time with sleeping in their cars. I feel okay now. I mean, now that we're in the warmth and we're having breakfast, it's not bad. But throughout the night, you have nothing to do and nobody to talk to. It's hard. We have it better off still, even though we only do it for one night. Other people have to do it because they have no choice. And when we do it for one night, it's not so bad. To do it for a week or a month at a time would be awfully difficult. I just want to say thanks very much to all the people that supported us, and the money that was raised is going to go to a great cause, and it's huge support in this community, and we're very fortunate to be here.
All right. Yeah.